Right, so today we're going to be setting up this rack that you can see behind me. This is a new rack that I've got in the fish room, or fish shop as you can call it. And yeah, I've had this rack now for quite a few months actually now, but I've never really got around to setting it up and things like that because I just had projects upon projects and project and project. And yeah, I've never really found the time to do it. But now I have, and we are going to be setting this up. I have done the odd bit and thing to like prepare everything. For example, when I got this, it was just 3 empty tanks, so just 3 tanks basically. What I did, I went ahead and put a divider in there, so we got a divider in each of these tanks, so that makes we got 6 tanks, which is pretty nice. Then also, they all were kind of drilled. So I decided to go ahead and put like a thing in there, I don't know what you call it, like a flinch or I don't know, something like that, to let the water go through, and then I made like my own water change system at the back with valves so I can do easy water changes. And yeah, that's pretty much all the things that have changed to the system, so not much. The lighting is still the same, it's not LED lighting, which is a shame, which I might upgrade in the future because it's just more efficient and just better in general. I've also hooked up my air system to this, so I have one central air pump and I've extended it out so it goes along here and then into the back, and then you might be able to see here, yeah, you can see at the back there we've got like the pipe and then with little valves, and then you can, you know, add an air stone like I've done in a few of these tanks, just add an air stone, but we'll also be adding the sponge filters and things like that. So what I'm first going to be doing actually is draining these tanks again, and this may seem stupid to some of you, but it is for a reason. It's because I use silicone to silicone like the panels in place to divide them, and it said that you want to, like, you know, you want to drain it a few times before you add fish, and so I think if I just drain it once, it's been running now for a week, I think a good couple of days, a week, it's been just filled with water like this, so all the toxins, and if they would be in there, would be out by now. So I can just drain the water out, then even add substrate into some of them. I'll have to see what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do substrate in all of them or not. We'll have to see, because this is a rack just for breeding fish. So yeah, I'm going to be breeding all kinds of fish in this rack and also growing out fish. So maybe, you know, for breeding fish I could do substrate, but then for growing out fish I could maybe do bare bottom. Since usually, you know, bare bottom is easier with growing out fish because they produce a lot of waste and it's just easier to get away and it's a bit cleaner in general. So yeah, I think let's start by draining it. We did have a few issues with leaks. Well, not so much leaks of the tanks, but we had leaks in like the drainage system, which was quite annoying. So it is siliconed up now, so we'll just hope that, you know, it's all good now. So yeah, let's drain the tanks. That's going to take quite a while, I think. Well, I don't know. It'll be quick with the system that I've got. But yeah, we're going to drain the tanks and then we'll go from there. Right, so the first thing we need to do to drain these tanks is to actually get this pipe out, because this pipe I put in so that nothing would drain, but now we do want things to drain. So yeah, I need to take that out, let it fill up, and then let's just see if this will drain. So I'm going to go down here, and I don't know if you can take you guys along. Right, so down here I've got a valve there, which I'm just going to open that up and pray that this works. It should, because then in theory that will go out, because let me go show you where this system goes. So then in the back, you know, it goes all the way down, and then down here I've got like a central thing, and then I just attached my own hose to it, and then that runs outside. As you can see, the tanks are draining, and it's doing it really quickly actually. If we just look closely here, you can see the water level drop pretty drastically. So yeah, that's pretty cool to see. Actually, before I do this, I should maybe like clean a bit of the edges and try to get some of the debris out. Let me do that real quick. Okay, I need to be quick because otherwise everything would have been drained. I'm just gonna grab my little hose, drain a bit of this junk out that's on the bottom. It's primarily just like loose stuff, you know, and like silicone stuff which you just don't really want in your fish tank. And I guess over time this will also just come out, like when I do water changes. But I'm going to try to get the most out at least. It is a lot of stuff, I must say. So it's good that we are doing a water change like this, because otherwise this stuff will just stay in the tanks, which we don't want to happen. Okay, it's just draining those last bits. And I'm just going to take these bits that are collected here with my sponge and then release them in my little bucket, and then you can see I can collect most of it up actually. Alright, I'm just going to continue doing my thing and I'll catch up with you guys when I've got all the tanks drained. So as you can see, what I'm doing now is I'm filling this tank, but at the same time draining it, meaning that all like the particles and stuff that are still left are being drained out directly, and that means that we got a clear tank. Now what we do need to do is, because there's a gap for this divider, as you can see there's a gap there, we need to fill that up. The way I've done that in the past is with like a bit of sponge, as you can see here. Let me turn the brightness up a little bit so you can see. Yeah, with like a piece of sponge, put it in between, and that works a treat. So this is the stuff I use. As you can see, it's just a bit of foam really. And then I simply, I take my scissors, which I have here, and then I just cut like a big strip. So, I want to make it it needs to be quite thick. So maybe like this. And then I'll just cut a whole strip of that, which can be a little tricky sometimes, and you just have to balance yourself and things like that. But yeah, just cut like a whole strip of this stuff. And I found it works best if you take enough of it. Like, you don't want to be doing it too small, because you can always make it smaller, but you can't make it bigger. So, for example, this is like a strip here, right? And then we want the appropriate length, right? So, for example, I'm just going to go here and then look at what the size is. And then I can kind of eyeball it. That usually works pretty well. Again, do it a little bigger than you think it has to be, because that will help in the long run. And then simply when you got this, I'm just going to make like a cut straight through the middle. And then once you got that cut, you can kind of bend it around it, which usually works pretty well. Right, and then you cut it all away, and then you just want to like break it open a little bit so that you have a bit of, wiggle room to work with, because it can be a little tricky sometimes, but usually it's pretty easy. I'm just going to literally just tear it open like this. And then we're going to get it in the tank and see how that works. Right, this tank's actually nearly full, so we'll have to, get this out a minute and then put it in the next tank. So I think I'll just wait for that a minute and then I'll do this. So now we got a clear subject to work with, and I'm simply just going to go in. Oh, that's cold. You want to make sure to get all the air bubbles out of the sponge, of course, so we don't have any issues with it floating up, because it usually does want to do that. And then we somehow going to get this under here. I must say it is quite delicate, this thing that I put in, because I did do it myself. So it's not like glass, it's like a plexiglass actually. It should fit exactly. Yep, it does. Yeah, that's done. So I'm just going to repeat that now for all tanks, and then we'll be finished. All right, so everything is filled up and clean again. You can see all the way down here, we've done everything. Now it's time to add the sponge filters. So I have 6 of these sponge filters here. Let me put this here a minute so you guys can actually see it. Hopefully you guys can kind of see it, yeah. Let's take one out. So basically, very simple. It's just a simple sponge filter. It does also have this thing that you could put in there, and then put the air in the top here, which actually I might do. But what I've done in the past is just leave it like this, and then just connect it here, just because it's easier really. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what we're gonna do. Maybe for this one we'll add this on, because I think they've renewed the design, so it's a bit better. I'm just gonna add this thing on here, and then that should work pretty nicely. Then all we're gonna do is literally take it in a tank. For example, this tank, plonk it in. Of course, it's going to be all air, bubbly, and things like that. Maybe I can bring you a little closer so you guys can see. Right, so you guys can see now. So yeah, just take the air bubbles out like so. And then once I've done that, we'll have to get some airline tubing and put it in the top here to then let it bubble. So I'm just gonna grab some airline tubing real quick. So here I have a whole roll of airline tubing actually, and we're just gonna need to take some off. I don't know how long, maybe something like that. I'm just gonna eyeball it and then cut a bit, and then we'll just see if it's long enough. Right, so here I have a little bit, and we're just gonna, basically I'm just gonna take one part, connect it to the little thing here, and then just see when this is in the corner how long it has to be. I'm thinking, yeah, something around this range, which just will be good because then pretty much all of them are about the same length, so we can do that, you know, I can make them to size, and then that'll be good. So yeah, I'm just going to do that for all these tanks a minute, and then I'll get back to you. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, we got all the sponge filters in. So as I go down here, yep, we got all the sponge filters. Looking really good. We also got an air stone in each tank as well. So yeah, there's an air stone and a sponge filter. So enough aeration going through, which is nice. You can see here, yeah, that's looking good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking right now. There's a bit of condensation on the glass because the water is colder than the room, but that will be cleared by the morning. So yeah, I didn't put any substrate in for now. I might do that at a later date when I feel like that's needed, because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to breed first in here. So I think just for now, for the sake of ease, it's just easy to have everything bare bottom, and then I can add substrate when needed. For example, say I wanted in this tank, I wanted to breed some rams or something, I could like add some substrate into here, you know. Even with the water full like this, it'll be a bit cloudy, but it'll be all right. So I think the plan for now is just to let this settle in a little bit, and then yeah, I might give you a little update, you know, a couple of days later, and then see how we are, and maybe if we add anything new or whatever. Because we also do still need to add the heaters here, so I do have some heaters. So yeah, we need to get that set up as well. But I'm not going to put them on heaters right now because, you know, there's no fish in there, so that wouldn't be needed for now. So yeah, I'm just going to update you guys in a couple of days. Okay, it's actually been a day or two since we set these tanks up. And as you can maybe see, you know, everything is clear, it's looking good, filters are running well, so yeah, I think it's time to add our heaters. So I have a few heaters here, which you might be able to see. These are just 75 watt heaters, very simple, not too powerful. And I do have 6 of these, but I'm using 3 of them currently in a different experiment. So we'll have to make do with just 3 of them for now. But I think with even just 3 of these, it should be quite good and quite powerful. I think I'll put it in the right tank. I think that's the best because then it will heat a bit into this tank. Yeah, let's do that. And like anytime we do like a water change, water flows from here to there. So that makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna put the heater on this side. And yeah, we're gonna see if that's a struggle or not, because I have to like put it through the back and then sink it down. So I'm just gonna go do that real quick. Okay guys, well that took a little while. I finally got it done. We got some heaters in here, so 1 heater, 2 heater, and the 3rd heater. But you can see this is a different type, and the reason for that is because the cable of that one wasn't long enough to reach from the top to the bottom. Well, it was just about, but then it was half sticking out, so I had to change it with a different heater that I had. So yeah, that's just a different heater that I got. That's a 100 watt heater. These are 75. It doesn't really matter. It'll be all right. We've got an extra spare heater now though. And what we also have with these, because the heaters in there that we're using, that should be here. But I'm just going to see with 1 heater in each side, like in this side here, if that will heat this up as well. Of course, this will be a cooler temperature, but that's not a big deal. So I just want to see how that works. Anyway, now I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'll probably add maybe some plants or some fish or whatever. We'll have to see. Maybe let's let this warm up for like the day, and then maybe later today we can have a look what we're gonna do. Well, it's the next day again, and well, the temperature has now warmed, or the water has warmed up. we're at about 24 degrees in the right tanks and then 21, 22 in the left. So I think that's good enough. You know, it's good enough to add some plants and some fish and things like that, because, you know, it's about time. So yeah, we need to go add some plants. Now the question is, what plants do we add? I do have a lot of plants. I have, well, my whole plant section here, for example, which, I mean, we could take some from here or from here. Also, these bettas I want to put in those tanks, actually. This is a female, you really can't see her. And then there's a male in there. I'm going to be putting those in these tanks first, because, yeah, they need to be done. But I do have a few other things, like I do have some plants laying around in here, for example, and also like a piece like this with like a piece of wood with some Anubias or some Java fern and like that. So I'm just going to have a little look around what I've got and gather some things together that I can put in these tanks. Right, okay, I got, in each tank I've got a few plants, as you can see. So here I've got some Hygrophila deformis that I had left over, put those in here. A bit of Anubias and Echinodorus, a little Java fern on wood. And you know, I've just done a bit of different things that I had laying around and just put them in here just for now. You know, this might change in the future, but every tank here is going to change drastically every week. Like, I don't think, no, there's not going to be a week where everything's going to be the same, because I'm just, you know, this is a breeding tank project, like, whereas this is all sales, you know, this is all breeding. But anyway, what I wanted to do, I've got some floating plants here, so like some Salvinia minima here, and I want to add those to these tanks because I think they'll be good as taking up nutrients and stuff, and there is a bit of water tension, but I think they'll still be fine. So yeah, I'm going to add those in here and see if they grow. Alright, so here I have this Salvinia minima, which I'm just going to open this little container here. And then I've got a bunch of this stuff, and I'm simply just going to take a bit and put it in here. I think there is a bit of duckweed in between, which I don't really want. But let's see. So I'm just going to spread this out a little bit. And then we'll just do you know, a bit of each in each tank. Yeah, that's looking good. So I'll do probably about half in here, because I have 3 pots. So half of this stuff in here, and then half of something else in the next tank, and, you know, just do a bit of that. So that's good here. As you can see, it's floating around. It'll probably have to have some time to adjust and everything. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if this grows nicely, and you know, if it just works. So we'll see. I'm just going to add these all to all the other tanks, and I'll get back to you guys. Well, the floating plants are in, as you can see here, for example. They're looking good. Look at those. This is some Amazon frog bit. And yeah, we've got a few different things. Red root floaters, which I have down here. So those are going to turn red, which will be really nice. And then, you know, we just got some different things. So the fish I'm going to add are these bettas, which were in the plant tanks. These are the females that I've got. Some really nice colorations some of these I have. They are still juveniles, but they have to still grow up. So I'm going to be putting those in here. And then next to them, I've got a male that I want to breed. And yeah, this male I'm going to put here so they can see each other. I think that will be good, so they can get used to each other. We might have to, maybe if I see that they're too much busy with each other, I might put the male like down here or something. But yeah, I first want to have a look how this goes, because I don't think these are ready to breed yet, although they might be. Some of these females do look pretty fat, and you can see like the camera will not focus, but anyway, you can see like the egg spot. At least with this one, can you guys see that white little spot there? You might be able to just about, there's like a white spot. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it like this, and then in the future I'll get some more fish in here. But I think this is everything to wrap up the video. So anyway guys, that's going to be it for today's video, you know, where we set up this racking system, which is pretty cool. Like I said, I might have a bit of footage from like how when I got this and stuff, but that will be in the video, you would have seen that by now. But yeah, it's nice to have this rack where I can breed different types of fish, you know, and yeah, it's just cool to have. So we got 6 new breeding tanks. But anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, of course. Also check out our channel sponsor, King's Aquariums in Antwerp. Their links are all down below. Also, you can join to become a member. Link for that is also down below, so you can help support like these projects that I do, you know. And yeah, it really helps me out. But anyway, watch this video next, or actually I think it will be a playlist or a video, I'm not sure, where we actually set up this racking system. That is a much bigger racking system and a bigger job. So go watch that next if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.